Okay, so being an 80s baby, 90s kid, Nickelodeon was definitely a huge part of my childhood. I grew up on Doug and Rugrats and Rocco's Martin Life and Ren and Stimpy, or was that MTV? Uh, all that was like my go-to. Then it was Keen and Kel. So when this Quiet on the Set thing came out, I hesitated for a while because I was like, I knew through watching the trailers what it was going to be about, like a glimpse. And I was like, do I want to ruin my childhood memories? But this is what I do. I review things, especially things that tend to be trending. So I said, you know what? I didn't know it was 4 episodes either until I hopped on Max and saw it was 4 episodes. And I'm like, geesh, this is 4 parts, right? So I was going to do a video for each part, but I'm just going to discuss the whole series in one video. There's just really no need to in get so into each episode. We're just going to cram it all together, right? Because it is, if you have seen Quiet on Set, it's a lot. I mean, you know it's going to be a lot with the trailer, but when you actually see it, it's like, whoa, you know? So basically, they start off talking about Dan Schneider, I believe is his last name, who was a producer of a lot of Nickelodeon shows and all that, which, like, that's one of my favorites, right? Growing up, I watched all that from the time it came out to probably like 97, and then after that I started watching Keen and Kel. So I didn't see some of the actors and actresses that were on this documentary, that were on all that. By the time they were on it, I hadn't watched it. Two of them, I believe. The the boy who they're both black actors, and I know one of them was on there earlier, but the other two, the ones they talked to the most, were on there later. So anyway, Dan Schneider, basically, he's doing perv shit and a lot of these things, and we see that a lot of these skits were like sexual innuendos. Like, to children, we don't get it. It's like, oh, somebody gets something squirted in their face. It's funny because, you know, oh, they got some squirt in their face. We're not knowing that it's supposed to be like a ejaculation in the face. And so that part, it's like, I, not that I sit around and watch my old shows. I do watch Keen and Kel still sometimes. But it's like, dang, I can't go back and watch that stuff without being cringed out, because it's like, I can't believe they put that. This is marketed towards children, with children playing these parts. So that was one of the most disturbing, just one of the most disturbing things in this documentary, that all this stuff going on. Dan Schneider, basically, it was people on there talking about they felt like he wasn't good with women. Basically, he had like a power ego thing where people had to be humiliated to keep their jobs, which I'm not surprised. I've heard some really crappy stories about show business, and it's crazy because he was in Good Burger. Like, you know, when I was coming up, I didn't wasn't reading the credits that well, but seeing him on the thing, it's like, yeah, he played the in Good Burger, he played the manager or boss or whatever when they were working at Good Burger, right? So I'm like, dang, you know, I think it's important though. Like, a lot of people my age group that were like in real time watching this stuff, a lot of us are choosing not to watch this documentary. But I feel like ignorance is bliss. Yeah, you will be happier not knowing, but we need to know what to look out for, because when it comes to children in entertainment, they need to be protected, man. Like, seriously. A lot of people, when I was online, were talking about the parents. I do feel like the parents should be more involved. Now, don't confuse this with victim blaming. I'm not saying, oh, the parents, it's their fault because they should have. All I'm saying is, be hands on. I was reading this book called Brave. I forgot the actress's name, but basically she started acting when she was like 14 or 15, and the director, producer, whoever it was, invited her to a hotel party. She goes by herself, right? She gets there, it's no party, it's just him, and he proceeds to sexually assault her. Things like that. Like, if I had a child in the industry, you talking about a hotel party, I'm coming too. There is no me dropping my 14, 15 daughter off to some hotel party just because she's in your movie. No, I'm going to be there too, or she's not going. It's one or the other. Either I'm coming too and staying there the whole time, or she's not going, right? And so each episode, because I thought the whole thing was going to be about Dan Schneider at first, but it's basically talking about you had multiple pedos working at Netflix studio. I'm sorry, not Netflix. I'm not trying to get my video taken down, at Nickelodeon Studios. I think they talked about like 3 of them on there. One of them, which happened to sexually assault repeatedly Drake Bell, which up until this documentary came out, he was John Doe back in 03 with this case. And the guy who did that to him only got 16 months. And I feel like the justice system just doesn't do well for children at all. From CPS, from foster care, to punishing people who harm children. They don't get enough. 16 months is not enough time for sexually assaulting this child multiple times on multiple occasions. He shouldn't be out, period. This was in 03 when he went in. He should still be sitting in there. And then the fact that Disney hired him. So a lot of people are talking about, shoot, we're waiting on Disney's documentary now, because it's like, I'm pretty sure some of this stuff was going on there. And you know, what's so sad is the parents that did speak out, their kids got fired. And it's like, you know what? That can be a bittersweet thing, because it's like, hey, if my child has to just not work anymore, that's fine. I'd rather them not work than to be assaulted. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of other things going on, like some racial stuff going on. One of the little boys, as far as like the sexual innuendos I were talking about, he was supposed to be, I forgot what character he was playing, but they had this big nose like this, right? Looking like a phallus right here. And then he's, whatever, supposed to be part of his suit, but it looked like, you know, a penis and balls. And like I said, again, as kids, we're not putting 2 and 2 together. But seeing it as an adult and hearing them talk about it, it's like, wow. So you have to wonder, this documentary made me, it's like, when I'm watching stuff now, I'm looking for things. Because it's like, what else are y'all doing? What other subliminal stuff are you putting in here? You know what I mean? One of the things I love about this documentary, I love the fact that they ripped the blindfold off of everybody. The 40-something people who signed a letter of support for the predator that assaulted Drake, they listed their names. They, everything was being said. Like, there was like, we're listing names, what you did. That's a true documentary. Let it be known who these people are that will say, oh, well, he was just tempted by him. You know what I mean? There was a lot of talk about Drake, because now when Drake and Josh came out, I wasn't watching Nickelodeon like that. Drake in real life is just a year older than me. But I wasn't watching that at that time. So that's not something that I grew up on, right? And so letting you know my hair's not just out. I got it like in this little cap here. Um, so yeah, like I was saying, his father tried to protect him. His father peeped instantly what was going on. But thing about predators is they're real good at grooming. Not just children, but they're good at grooming the parents too, as far as getting them to trust them. And that's what happened in Drake's position. The father got pushed out, and he was able to come in and take over and start doing all these things to him. I have also seen on the internet people saying, well, Drake's not innocent. He's done this, that, and the third. And I saw something that made a lot of sense, and they said we have to get over this idea that victims have to be pure. You can be a total asshole, a total jerk off, and still be a victim. Nobody's excusing what Drake, I don't even know what they said he was doing something, but we're not excusing that, but we are talking about what this man did to him. And Disney, how you gonna hire somebody who you know is a sexual deviant? It's wild, man. This is the year of everything is getting exposed from like the end of 2023 on out. Things are getting exposed, and I'm glad. We need to see, take the blindfold off. We need to see who these people are, because we watch this stuff. It gets into our psyche. You know what I mean? So I am happy though that with the internet, if kids want to like do a show, they can make a show in the privacy of their own home and put it out. They don't have to go to a studio and deal with producers and directors. So that is a good thing about the internet. This platform here called YouTube, you can put out whatever you want without the hassles of all that overhead. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off here. I don't know how much time I have left on my phone. It says I'm running out of juice. You know how that is. Anyways, y'all, peace and blessing as always. Shout out to my 55 subscribers. Shout out to you as well. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe for me. Just hit it. Also hit the like button and share as well if you don't mind. All right, y'all. Have a good one.